Riz, talking about Unit 7 now, performing to an audience, so that's the one that we did the pantomime for.
Yeah.
I just want you to talk a bit about how you've interpreted performance material and how that impacted on the development of your character.
One of my teachers let me borrow a book about fairies, so that was one of my stimulus to work off, and also one of my tutors suggested to watch Scrooge and perhaps make my fairy based off the fairy from Scrooge. That was interesting, and I watched that for research. And
did you directly apply anything that you found in them, either the book or the film?
I tried to apply the over the topness, but perhaps not the. She was quite an aggressive fairy, and I didn't want my fairy to be that aggressive. So I took the way she was over the top, but not perhaps the aggressiveness.
Talk about your characterization now. How do you think you used things like expression, vocal range, physicality, use of props maybe? Did you ever say in your costume? Everything like that that added to how you thought your character should have been interpreted by the audience.
We went and chose our costumes, and it was from the beginning I would have an understanding I'd be quite a bold fairy, so I was quite happy with that. I also was given a wand, and in rehearsals I hadn't rehearsed with a wand, so when it came to performance it was quite difficult with the wand because it was quite big. I had glitter, which was fun to use, but it was difficult to use at times because I'd end up choking on it whilst going on stage. But and I tried to be bold as I could, but I think I could have gone a lot bigger. By using stage wise, I think I used quite a bit of the stage because I wasn't always at the front of the stage. I used the back of the stage as well and walked around it a little.
Why did you choose to stage a character like that?
I felt like it was a pantomime, so I thought I'd be over the top and I'd like the children to like me as a character because I wasn't an evil character. We had one of those, so I wanted to try and show that I was a good character and I wanted to help Robin Hood.
Speaking about your performance now and how you communicated meaning to an audience, how do you think you did this? Were you successful in your interactions with the audience? Did you receive any heckling or ad-lib moments that you could have added in? Did you show a use of emotional range? Or were you always on the same level? Just speak to me a bit about that.
There was a few times where the audience spoke back and I kind of I interacted with them. And also when my partner, Fiona, she was talking to the audience as well, and I had to ad-lib and go along with that at times. So I tried that. For emotion-wise, I think I stayed on a similar level throughout the show, but I think for next time I would have changed the variety of levels of emotion. But I think because she was such a happy character, it was quite difficult at times because like she wouldn't be overly sad. But I think in one of the closest end scenes, which was the fighting scene, I felt I interacted with what was going on, and I kind of added my own ad-lib into when they were fighting. Like,
can you give me an example? Oh, go on, that's what you did.
Like a sad emotion or wailing when Robin died, but he wasn't dead.
Can you give me an example of how you applied any feedback that you received directly to your performance? Or whether you did you listen? Did you think that wasn't a valid piece of feedback? Anything like that now?
One of the pieces of feedback was to perhaps throw glitter at the audience, and I did try, but the glitter was impossible to throw at the audience. But I thought all the feedback was quite valid and was important, and I did try to become louder, but I'm not too sure if it was successful or not.
Thinking of the piece as a whole, how do you think you could develop it for future use?
That piece or any?
The Robin Hood piece.
I think if we were to do it again, perhaps try different ranges of emotions, be a lot bold and bigger with my movements.
Would you keep it in the same theatre setting?
No. I quite like, yeah, I would actually, yeah. But I think I might change the backdrops a little and just...
Why? Why do you think that?
I think with like backdrops it would have given it more of a forest feeling. Also just some of the staging on some of the scenes, because everyone seemed to be squashed together and it didn't feel like we were in a forest and we were these, or I was in a ferry surrounded by these men who lived out there. It was just kind of, I'm on stage, let's just squash together now thing.
Anything else you want to add to the evaluation of it? No. Thank you very much.